economic talk show. We have with us today both Singapore and China economists, Shi Xuan and Xiao En respectively, who will be sharing with us more about the balance of payment and the exchange rates, especially in these two countries, which are the focus of today's talk show. Let's begin.
Last year, Singapore experienced surplus of 33 billion Sing dollars, while China experienced a continuous surplus in recent years. What are some of the reasons for the BOP performance in your respective countries?
Firstly, Singapore has an advantage of long-term investment prospects due to its political and economic stability. This brings about net capital inflows such as foreign direct investments. Furthermore, the gradual appreciation of the Sing dollars encourages inflow of capital as well due to the increase in hot money locally.
On the other hand, China has been performing well due to the high surplus in current account and surplus in capital accounts. Some factors that contributed to the BOP surplus in China is our country's state of development, which is rapidly developing as an emerging economy in these recent years. Our goods and services trade has also been booming due to our abundance in labor and raw materials, leading to our comparatively cheaper prices.
Let's take a look at a local street interview about balance of payments.
We are now here in the Singapore CBD area to see how Singaporeans view about our economy. Excuse me, do you know about our BOP status?
Surplus?
That's right. That may seem like a good thing, but do you know what are the negative consequences?
A surplus increases the country's foreign exchange reserves, leading to an increase in money supply and an increase in income. The resultant effect of an increased demand can lead to inflation if supply does not meet demand. This is especially as Singapore has a limited pool of labour due to our small population and ageing population, and our supply may not be able to meet the rising demand, which may worsen the effect.
Also, the country's trading partner with persistent BOP deficits will not tolerate the situation, and they may put heavy pressure on the country to reduce the surplus or impose protectionist measures to correct BOP deficit.
Thank you very much.
Moving on, now we shall focus on the three ways to determine the forex rate.
The actual exchange rate of each currency in the foreign exchange market is determined by various factors, and the chief factor being the type of exchange rate regime the country is concerned about. The three types of exchange rate systems are the fixed exchange rate system, freely fluctuating exchange rate system, and the managed flexibility, also known as dirty flow.
So, what do our economists feel about each of these systems?
China uses a fixed exchange rate system. We have to manually adjust the yuan to the dollar as the yuan is pegged to a fixed value against the dollar. As of 2013, the dollar has weakened against the yuan compared to in 2003. That is because the US government pressurized our government to let yuan rise in value, making US exports more competitive than China.
Singapore adopts a managed flexibility system, similar to free fluctuating system but with upper and lower limits. The Sing dollar will automatically adjust in the foreign exchange market.
Oh, then what are the advantages and disadvantages?
Well, firstly, a fixed exchange rate system encourages international trade and investments due to the stability of exchange rates. Also, there will be no scope for speculative activity unless there is pressure to devalue or revalue the currency. However, large amounts of foreign reserves are required to maintain the exchange rate, wasting financial resources to a certain extent. Luckily, China has been doing well in our recent years with high foreign reserves.
The managed flexibility system can gain the most advantages and reduce the limitations of the other two systems. For instance, Singapore does not need large reserves and the government can pursue other macroeconomic goals as the system automatically corrects itself most of the time. There is also less speculation due to the fixed limits, even if Singapore adopts a gradual appreciation policy.
Let's pass the time to Alicia again.
We are now in Guangzhou, China, a shopping mall. Now we are going to interview some Singaporean tourists. Hello. What do you think about the foreign exchange rate between China and Singapore?
Cheap stuff in China!
Do you know why is that so and how will it affect the exchange rate?
Don't know eh.
Let's ask the economists.
Speculation will likely happen in China as the superficially low value of rand will most likely appreciate over the next few years, encouraging investments in China and as such increase the external value of China even further.
Also, the relative prices of exports in China are cheaper than Singapore's goods and imports are dearer than domestic goods. That is why our goods are relatively cheaper to Singaporeans. Thus, this encourages exports and discourages imports in China. In turn, the demand for yuan increases and the supply for yuan decreases, rising yuan's external value and exchange rate in recent years.
Oh, I see. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for being with us.
Tune in for the Economic Talk Show same time next week on Channel 5 and have a good night.